Jillian, Mahen here alongside Tom Dienhart. Indiana and Michigan, two teams that had losses last week. Now, Indiana coming off of, it was actually a closer game than the score really shows against Penn State. But the turnovers have been a huge problem for this Indiana offense.
Yeah, last 2 weeks, 9 turnovers for the Hoosiers. That's just not going to cut it. 5 against Penn State, 4 against Rutgers. They're fortunate they won at least one of those 2 games. So again, Indiana's got to get that buttoned up. But I tell you what, offensively, they're playing very well. Divine Redding went for over 100 yards rushing for the second time in 3 games last week against Penn State. Richard Lago had a nice ball game, over 250 yards passing, no interceptions for him, which was key. So again, the Hoosiers, if they can limit turnovers, we know they can hang with Michigan. They played these guys tough in recent years, but Jillian, they're going to find a very angry Michigan team when they get to Ann Arbor.
That's right. Michigan coming off of their very first loss of the season. And really, the Michigan team we saw playing at Iowa just wasn't what we've been used to seeing offensively or defensively. And now there's a big question mark of whether Wilton Speight will be playing on Saturday.
Yeah, if not Speight, we're probably going to see John O'Korn. We all think the Houston transfer. I thought he was going to win the job in camp. He didn't. Should O'Korn have to play, I think Michigan's offense will be okay, but they've got to get back on track, and it begins up front. Michigan was whipped on the offensive line. They couldn't run the football. That sort of brings up some questions they had about that front back in September. Here we are again in November. Can they run the football? Is that line good enough? So keep your eye on the Michigan offensive line this week as well. You talked about John O'Korn too, because that offense, 13 points, 201 yards of offense. We were seeing nothing like that out of Michigan's offense the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, those were the lowest numbers in the entire Jim Harbaugh era. Certainly just not what we're expected to seeing from this Wolverines team. We'll see how they bounce back this week. Thank you so much, Tom. For more Michigan news, highlights, and analysis, head to btn.com/Wolverines. And for more Indiana news, highlights, and analysis, head to btn.com/Hoosiers.